What's going on, everybody? Y'all come on in, sit down, and have a seat. It's your boy Trey Scents. Let's talk about some fragrances. But before we get into that, I need a little something from you. I need you to like this video. I need you to share this video. And if you haven't, I need you to sub to the channel. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of spring here in Alabama. And then from what I hear, we're going to have another little touch of winter. So just some fragrances that I want to get one more wearing in before it gets cold, or really, if I'm being honest, gonna get a wearing in. These are deep, rich, nice fragrances. Let's go. If you hear any noise in the background, that's just my washing machine. Pay it no, never mind. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it over the music, so we'll see. Okay, from the house of Aramis. This is one that came out several years ago, and it's special blend. Special blend. And this one, my boy, The Fragrant Life, aka Mr. Cheap Scents, aka Keith, was the first one I saw talk about this fragrance. He picked it up and talked about how nice it was, and then it started surfacing. And then my boy Manuel from Manuel House of Aroma picked it up for me and sent it to me. So what we have here is Aramis Special Blend. Now what you have with this one is a fragrance that punches way above its weight class, guys. This is one, man, that is tobacco. Extremely, extremely masculine. It's a dusty, dry tobacco, but it's got a feel of an old school fragrance with the new school kiss, new school twist. And my honest opinion about this fragrance is if Clive Christensen released it, if Roja Dove released it, or if Argos released it, you'd pay $200 for this fragrance. That's my honest opinion. It smells that good. If a big name, independent somebody released this fragrance, it would have been a household name and everybody would have loved it. But since it was from Aramis, which is a very reputable company, been around for a long time, released it and it was affordable, people kind of, overlooked it. But you see the levels. So you see, I have sprayed it many, many times. And honestly, I like it. I like it. It's, again, it's a sort of a dry, dusty, slightly smoky tobacco with just a hint of citrus running through the bottom of it. And it smells good. It's a little bit linear, but it's a good smelling fragrance, and I like it. And I think it was under $30 at TJ Maxx, and for that price, you get a stunning fragrance. It's hard to beat. From the house of Aramis, it is Special Blend. Another one I want to talk to you about that's a really inexpensive fragrance, man, that just smells absolutely good. And it is from the original Ben Sherman, and it is Signature. And was that the levels on this one too? So I get into these deep, rich fragrances, man. I love them, especially in the winter time, and especially wearing them to work. I get tons and tons of compliments. Part of the reason I get so many compliments on fragrances like this is, well, because not everybody's wearing them. And the scent profile, when I pair it again, and I keep talking to you guys about this, with pairing it with the right lotion, or in my case, the right JB Butters, really just extends that scent profile, and it gives it sort of a combination that is really unique. It's really unique. Now this one, man, smells a little bit oody. It smells like something from Tom Ford. It may even be a clone of something from Tom Ford. I don't know, but what you get from this one is that deep, rich, clean, oody vibe. And honestly, I like it. I like it a lot. And this one also was this was a Burlington pickup for me, and it was under 20 bucks. Because I think this is a 50 mil, but man, this little thing right here, again, it's deep, it's rich, it's oody, sort of inky. Nice. Just a nice, nice fragrance to pick up. If you see this in a bargain bin, you may pick this up for $12 or $15. And if you do, I think you should add it to your collection. Is it an everyday wear fragrance? No, it's not. It's not one that you're gonna want to wear every day. Is it one that you're gonna want to reach for in the summertime? Me, I wear my ouds year round. They perform wonderful in the summertime, and believe it or not, they're not too much. But I will say they do lean more towards cooler weather, but you can wear them whenever you want, however you want. Yeah, I like that. I like that. This fragrance smells way more expensive than what it is, and I don't think anybody would think you're wearing a $12 to $15 fragrance. It may have been $9. I can't really remember, but I know it wasn't over 20. That much I do know. But from the house of Ben Sherman, it is Signature, and that is a beautiful fragrance. Let's get a niche one on the list. This is a niche fragrance, but it's not an expensive niche. Well, I digress, because this one is a little bit expensive because it's discontinued. But I think you can still get it, and it's from the house of Replica. And it is Whispers in the Library. And I love this fragrance. It is dusty. It is dank. It is mysterious. It's got its own little vibe. Yeah. I don't have anything in my collection that really honestly smells like this. A little bit sweet, a little bit vanillic, maybe. That's good. That's good. A little bit of a gourmand. And I can't remember if this one was unisex. This may actually be a woman's fragrance. I don't remember if it was unisex or for women. But what I do know is you get a nice, smooth vanilla. Or at least that's what I'm picking up on. Mixed in with some dank, dark richness from the house of Replica. It is Whispers in the Library. That's nice, man. Different. It's different. It's different. All of these fragrances are just different. But they all have the one thing in common. They're on the dark side. They're rich. I use the word dank. For those of you who don't know what dank is, it's kind of like if you walk into a cellar or a basement, that feeling of dark, wet, moist, all that together makes the feeling of dank. You know, that smell of kind of like mud and leaves. In the South, we call it dank. But I like this fragrance. I like it a lot. If it's not a unisex fragrance, it very easily could be. It has all those components that I just talked about, but at the same time, it has a little bit of sweetness, which makes it sort of a gourmand fragrance. Yeah, Whispers in the Library. That's a good one. The Aramis is settling down, and the tobacco is fading, and it's becoming a very clean, masculine fragrance with a little bit of sweetness. The oud is coming to life in that Ben Sherman, and it's mellowing out as well, but it's a really good fragrance. One that I think everybody should have in their collection. I'm trying to think of who makes this fragrance. I know the name of the fragrance. The name of the fragrance is, I want to say it's Al Rehab. Yeah, Al Rehab makes this one, and it's from the house of Al Rehab. The name of the fragrance is Chaco Musk. And the great Travis Gearhart is the one that told me about this fragrance as he and I was chopping it up. You know, Travis is the owner and proprietor of Dapper Fragrances. And he was like, Trey, man, there's one you need to get that's really cheap, but it smells amazing. And I took him at his word. And again, you see the levels on these fragrances. And this one is definitely a unisex fragrance. And this is definitely one that you need in your collection. And what this one smells like to me, man, the name says it all. Chaco Musk. And that's what you have, is a chocolatey, musky, man, just a nice fragrance to wear. And this one can be had under $10. If you remember Al Rehab, one of the things that they were most known for was silver, and it was a clone of Silver Mountain Water. It was kind of shaped like a guitar or a violin. Nobody really talks about the house or the company anymore. This one made waves again about 5 or 6 years ago, but since then, I don't see or hear anybody talking about it as a house or this fragrance or Al Rehab Silver or any of them, but those were fragrances that you could pick up, man, for under $10. Parfum concentration, high oil, and they last forever. This is essentially a cologne roll-on that you can spray. You know those oils that we talked about? This is essentially it in a spray bottle. And it is definitely unisex, it is definitely gourmand, and it definitely smells amazing. It is thick, it is rich. Mix this with the right JB Butters or the right cocoa butter type lotion, man, and you're gonna be smelling amazing. And you're gonna be smelling amazing all day. This one is definitely unisex, men or women. And the more that Whispers in the Library sits on my skin, to me, it does lean a little bit more feminine. I still like it. It does lean a little bit more feminine. That vanilla really comes to the surface the longer it stays on your skin. So if you buy that or if you have that, wear it, keeping in mind that vanilla is going to amp up. So maybe these two would be a great layering combination. Now this is a pretty fragrance. I am not hating on Whispers at all. It's a pretty fragrance, but again, it is a vanillic type of scent, and that is going to come to the bottom. I'm sorry, to the top the longer it stays on your skin. But again, mix it with something like this and you've got a great little combination going on. Ain't nobody gonna smell like you. But this one right here, for the money, for the price, you can't go wrong with it. And it's from the house of Al Rehab, and it is Choco Musk. One that came out, and I think it was instantly passed up by its predecessors. But I think it's a good fragrance as well. And I think it's a very unique fragrance, and it's a dark, rich, inky, dank type of fragrance from the house of Mont Blanc. And it is Mont Blanc's emblem, the little Pac-Man ghost. Now, I say that because Mont Blanc Emblem Absolute in the gold bottle is one of my favorite fragrances. If I had to keep only 250 fragrances, pun intended, that would be one that I kept, because ain't no way I can narrow it down to 10 or something like that. That's crazy. That's absurd. That's crazy work, bruh. But when that came out, I think this kind of got forgot about, because they made this, and then they made Intense, and then they made Absolute. Now all three are bangers. Intense is a banger, and Absolute is a banger. Absolute is one of my favorite fragrances in my collection, all jokes aside. Now this one, again, people kind of forgot about it, but Mont Blanc makes really good fragrances, and I just realized sitting here doing this video that there are actually 2 Mont Blanc fragrances on this list, and this is good. Man, that's good. I'm gonna rant for just a little bit. One of the things that I love about being a fragrance reviewer is this. There's a certain time, some fragrances go bad. The ones that I have had that go bad are really fragrances that are citrusy and fruity. Something about some of those citrus notes that they put in there, they will go bad quick. Any other fragrance that I've had, really haven't had one go bad. Like I had a bottle of Avatar from the early 2000s, and it was still good and it was still potent, but it wasn't a citrus type fragrance. When these fragrances maturate and mature, sometimes, man. So with this one, again, you've got some sweetness, you got a little bit of woods in there, you got that inky, that dark, you know, the black bottle does it well. And I caught this at, back in the day when it was Burke's Outlet, before they changed to Bill's, for a little or nothing. It was like, again, $10. The only fragrance on this list that was expensive would be the Whispers in the Library. The Whispers in the Library. As far as I know, none of them have been discontinued. None of them are hard to get your hands on. But this one right here, man, it's just, it just smells good. And again, it's a fragrance that nobody talks about, and that's just sort of been tossed to the wayside and forgotten. From the house of Mont Blanc, and you see the emblem on top, it's Mont Blanc emblem. We go back and forth, is Mont Blanc niche, is Mont Blanc not niche? To my opinion, as far as the definition of niche, Mont Blanc is niche because they're not designer. I know they make watches, I know they make pens, I think they make crystalware or something. And I think they make some luggage, so kind of hard to call them niche. It's not designer though. So what do you call it? It's not an independent. You know, that's the age-old question. People will get mad because if you call Mont Blanc niche, I guess because of the price tag. Now, if they charge $600 for this little bottle, then you would say it was niche. Then it would be okay to call it niche. But because it's inexpensive, we don't want to call it niche. And I know people are out there going right now, the definition of niche means that they only make a certain, that's true. Okay. So does that make Ford Mustang niche? Kind of makes Cremo niche, right? By that definition. I'll tell you another company that it kind of makes niche, Belcam. That's all they do is fragrances. But Belcam is cheap though, right? So we don't want to call Belcam niche either. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So if you feel like Mont Blanc is niche, it's niche. I'm on the fence about it. If you don't feel like it's niche, then it's not niche because everybody's entitled to their opinion, and what we're not going to do is argue about it. But what I can tell you is this is a really, really nice fragrance. And it makes me go, not really sure why this one got so overlooked. It's just a good smelling fragrance. And if you have it tucked off in your collection, I think you should get it out, give it a try. Again, we're gonna use a word that I've been using here throughout this video. It has a dark, dank, sort of inky vibe to it with a little bit of sweetness, and it smells good. From the house of Mont Blanc, it is Emblem. Another one from the house of Mont Blanc, and this one came out and everybody was clamoring about it, trying to get it, then they got it, and then they just kind of forgot about it because it's not as good as the OG. And that fragrance is again from the house of Mont Blanc, and you probably know where I'm going, and it is Star Walker Extreme. Now, is this a good fragrance? Absolutely. Is it as good as the original? I don't know. It's good. It smells really good, and it's a compliment getter. It's a little on the sweet side, definitely on the woody side, and that is a combination that gets you tons of compliments. And like it or not, this is a compliment beast. This is a compliment monster. So if you see this and you're looking for a fragrance that's gonna get you noticed, that's gonna make people go, ooh, you smell nice, here it is. Here it is. Is it the reinvention of the wheel? No. It's exactly what you think it is. It's Mont Blanc capitalizing on a name that they had a lot of success with, because Star Walker is one of the best names of a fragrance in this world. What you got on, Star Walker? I mean, I could do an all name video. Star Walker, you know, Night Flight, Run After My Car. I mean, those are great names for fragrances. What you got on, Star Walker? By who? By Mont Blanc. They're gonna be like, girl, he had on something about the atmosphere. He was wearing some stratosphere or something. But nonetheless, it's a great smelling fragrance. It's a great smelling fragrance. When I think about the entire line of Mont Blanc, I have to go to the Legend line and Mont Blanc Legend Red. To me, this smells like if Mont Blanc Legend Red had a parfum, a Mont Blanc Legend Red, since this is the new crave, Elixir. That's what I think that would be. A little bit of a gourmand type of scent. I gotta put this on some skin. Gotta find a spot to put this on, because it just dissipates too quick in the air, and I can't really go through the progressions with you when you spray it in the air. But I do like this fragrance, and I do think it's a good fragrance. I think it's a little bit more complex than people want to give it credit for it. Now, again, is it the reinvention of the wheel? No. but you have a little bit of a blue aspect to it. Something in it gives it a little bit of a dark aspect to it. You get a little bit of the bamboo freshness that you get from the original, not a lot. I see why they call it extreme, but to me, extreme was just a play on words. Is it a great fragrance? Yes. Will it get you compliments? Yes. Will it get you all those things I talked about? Yes, it will. Should they have named it something else? I think so. But, you know, maybe they had these bottles. I mean, I don't know. The top is magnificent, but this is a really good fragrance. I think it is perfect for this time of the year. Perfect for this time of the year, man. When we transitioning sometime between now and the end of March, we're going to transition from winter over into spring, and I think this is a good one to help you do that with. But yes, this is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance, and it smells really, really good. It smells much better on skin than it does in here. And again, I've had this bottle for a couple of years, so it's got a chance to sit, get some air in it, and it's a pretty good batch right about now. It's a pretty good batch. Taking on sort of a gourmand vibe. It's getting a little bit sweeter. It's actually better than I remember. It's actually better than I remember, but it does have that Mont Blanc sweetness that you're gonna get from red. If anybody out there, speaking of Mont Blanc, has a good deal for your boy on blue, on Mont Blanc Legend Blue, get at me. Get at me, because that's one I've been looking to add to my collection. Get at me. Get at me. We might can work out something. Maybe I can trade you a bunch of decants for your Mont Blanc Legend Blue or something. But yeah, that's a nice fragrance. Nice, crisp, clean, very masculine. Yeah, nobody's gonna tell you that you smell bad with that on. Nor are they gonna tell you you smell bad with this on. Both of those Mont Blanc fragrances are really good. But moving on to the last one on the list, and this fragrance to me is the definition of dark, mysterious, and one that you need to get on your skin. And it was popular as well. And it is from the house of Lalique, which is another one that we argue about whether it is a niche fragrance or not. And it is from the house of Lalique, and it is Ancre Noir. And I have Ancre Noir L'Extreme. I have Ancre Noir Sport. Sport is dope. Sport is really dope. But so is L'Extreme, and so is the original Ancre Noir. It just smells like money. This just smells like money to me. As I'm an older guy, you know, I'm not old, I'm aging. You know, I'm 49. I'm 49, right? You know, 49. And this fragrance just makes me smile because I think about where I came from with these fragrances. Because you gotta realize, I've been doing this since middle school. And there was a time I wouldn't have put a fragrance like this on my skin. And now, I pick up a fragrance like this and I smell it and I go, that's what's up. It just smells like success. Is it dark? Yes. Is it rich? Yes. But to me, this fragrance just smells like success. It just smells like a man that's gonna get out of a nice car, dress well, real nice with some money in his pocket. That's what this fragrance just makes me think of. Confident, just I don't really care what nobody else says or nobody else thinks. This is me, accept me for who I am, I get from around me. That's what this fragrance makes me think about. But a little bit oody, something in it reminds me a little bit of coffee, but a really good coffee. I ain't talking about the shit you get from McDonald's. I'm talking about a really good coffee from a really good coffee house where they grind the beans and make the coffee. And, you know, the type of coffee, you don't put nothing in it. You don't put no creamer, you don't put no sugar. When they hand you that cup, that kind of coffee. Like something that you would get if you was, you know, on vacation in Colombia or somewhere, where they give you just a little bit of cup because it's pure coffee. So you don't need It ain't cut, bro. This stuff we get over here been stepped on. We getting that stepped on coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like, stepped on. But that's what I feel when I smell that fragrance. It's just success. Success. And success has many different terms. Success doesn't mean that you got a Bentley sitting in the driveway. Success, like for me, I feel like I'm successful. Why? Because I wake up every day and live the life that I choose to live. And to me, that's successful. I don't worry about my bills because they paid. I can do what I want to do, live how I want to live. And to me, that's success for me. Now, I drive an older car, you know, but that's because I wanted to. You see what I'm saying? You know, I buy the watches that I want, the shoes that I do what I want. To me, that is successful. So, so everybody's version of success is not going to be the same. But this fragrance right here just makes me feel like this is what success in a bottle should smell like. All right, guys, that's it, man. There's been 7 fragrances from my collection that are dark, dank, mysterious fragrances that I think you should wear one last time if you got them in your collection before the winter is gone, before we transition from winter to spring, because spring in the southeast could mean 90-degree temperatures or it could mean 6 inches of snow. We just don't know. We just have to stay tuned. But either way, if you've got these in your collection, I encourage you to dust them off, enjoy what you have as opposed to going out and buying new fragrances all the time, especially if you're not a reviewer. If you're just, you know, somebody who wants to smell good, here is some suggestions for you. And keep in mind, my email is in most of my videos. So anything that I have, if you want a sample of, all you gotta do is email me and I will get you probably the best prices that you're gonna get on either 3 or 5 ml decants, because mine, for most fragrances, are easily under 15 bucks and the price includes shipping. And honestly, that's hard to beat. Now, there are some guys out there who do this and have websites and all of this. Look, I'm not trying to compete with them. You know, that's not the goal. The goal is for you to, the goal is for you to be able to smell anything in my collection that you see in the video at a good price. You know, I don't go out and buy fragrances for the sake of decanting them. That's not what I do. That's not at all what I do. But anyway, with that being said, guys, listen, I love you and may God bless you all. And thank you so much for being the best part of this channel. Hope you enjoyed this video and we will catch you later. Peace.